tonight I'm in Sheffield with those good friends, Wednesday and United fans. Now you guys, you are the fans of the moment for the wrong reasons, as it was one of your lot allegedly, although he comes from Eastbourne. I don't know if any of you know him.
You're a Southampton fan, actually.
Got lost on that. Ended up in Portsmouth for the day.
Definitely.
I mean, how did you feel? Were you at the game?
I wasn't there personally, but the lad is not a Sheffield United fan. Is he a real Sheffield United fan? We don't do that sort of thing. We don't condone that sort of thing. Unfortunately, we're going to be tarred with a brush now, you know. But it's a problem that any club could have. Everybody can't legislate for idiots. If the club, Portsmouth, would have had better stewarding, then that wouldn't have happened, would it?
I think, to be honest, I think it opens a big can of worms with stewarding in general anyway, because we've been to certain grounds where stewarding, as opposed to policing, has been ordered at day, and it's been terrible, to be honest. I mean, if we're honest with ourselves, what kind of people do stewarding anyway?
Yes.
You know, I mean, you ask yourself that question. Yeah. And there's been
slightly anorexic, want to get in to watch the game free.
Exactly.
Yeah. More than likely. I mean, do you think that this is happening? You would be seeing probably less money. It is the nationwide league clubs who are trying to save money because it's cheaper to employ stewards than the local police.
Well, definitely. I mean, so as Kevin says, the standard you're getting, the job they're doing, it doesn't warrant that. You're better off paying the extra money and getting the job done properly. And anybody who can get all sanctimonious about it being Sheffield United fan, it could happen to any club in the country.
But it didn't.
No, but it could do it. It can't.
It has. I mean,
they're dragging him back with us. They don't go and hit that linesman, no, they do.
It should have been no.
They were dragging him back. He ran 40 yard, didn't he? He ran 40 yard and ploughed to the linesman. So then you got to steward him, what we're on about. We were at Stoke City when a Stoke City fan came on pitch.
Yeah.
He did exactly the same to a United fan. Well, I don't differentiate. No, you got a Sheffield United fan who were being apprehended by police. So they were in police custody. A fan came up and kicked him. Now that fan, if he hadn't been apprehended quick, who's to say he wouldn't have gone and kicked linesman? Because that was
Sheffield United fan arrested.
Well, you know the reason why they were arrested, because they were on the wayside because they didn't issue enough tickets, which is another point. We pay a lot of money to go to football matches, and to be honest, you've got a new stadium at Stoke, which you would expect facilities and everything that goes with it to be tip-top. And when they run out of tickets, knowing full well there's fans outside, at 3:20, they know full well they're going to go into away end, don't they?
Yeah.
That's one of them things.
I mean, we're going back to fans and taking misbehaving to extreme. No doubt you're enjoying this as Wednesday fans. It's great, Sheffield United fan.
It's not.
Sheffield as a whole, doesn't it?
Well,
It reflects on football fans as a whole.
but have we all got that short of memories? We can't remember Wembley. No. Yeah.
Well, when you two played each other.
For wrong reasons.
For all reasons, can you remember Wembley?
One at a time. Okay, what happened at Wembley that gets you so riled?
Well, then they lost 2-1.
They should have been 2-1. No, what he's referring to is a Sheffield United fan died at Wembley after the game. But the big difference with that is,
As a result of what?
as a result of Wednesday fans fighting with the United fans. Now that happens all over Wednesday fans and United fans. What we're on about here is somebody actually going onto the field and play and hitting an official, which is a different thing altogether. Can I just
butt in? Nobody upon nobody is going to condone a fan, whether it's blue, white, red, white. You're there for grace of God that it's into Wednesday fan as well. I think this is one of the areas where football fans in general should stick together. You're there about grace of God that nobody's done it in a blue and white shirt. If you get situations with bad stewarding, etc., Portsmouth, no disrespect to them, it's like a novel run on a shoestring. And scenario is bad stewarding.
An enraged idiot, yes.
I couldn't agree with you more. Yeah. Nobody upon nobody is going to condone what that fan did. I mean, I could stick up for every Sheffield United fan who said that.
I mean, don't you think, that it really is a sad reflection of a football fan? I mean, I'm seriously ashamed to call myself a fan and be associated with someone who does something like that. I think the abuse that we dish out to each other. I mean, we were just talking a bit earlier. Football is meant to be our relaxation. It's meant to be people where you go and let off steam and have a laugh and get passionate. But it's not about sort of hurling abuse,
Right,
life and death abuse
You'll
at
do it,
each
then.
other.
We'll shout at the referee for mates around.
Yeah, there's a
it's
difference
a release,
between,
isn't it?
it is a release, but when it gets so serious that you feel that you've got to run down there and lay out a linesman, and not just lay him out, but for 5 minutes. I mean, he must have really hit him
Right.
and meant it.
I said it earlier, you can't condone what the chap did, but I'll also say that when people are paying good money to watch football matches, and basically, unlike any other sport, the threat at times like animals, you're going to throw up an animal, aren't you?
Yeah.
Because like we've been debating here about fans on fans, but I can also say we get put in seats which you wouldn't turn a dog into, and you're paying something like £14, these lads will be paying a lot more for privilege.
It's alright, what if you said them take the other extreme like they had in Rome last year in the World Cup qualifier? If there'd been like police with batons there, would this guy not react the same way? Would he just hit a policeman instead?
He would have just hit a policeman instead.
Well, getting back to this scenario with stewards,
frustrated.
you have police, they're relatively well paid, they attract the proper people, educated people to be policemen.
Yeah.
Or you would think so. Opposed to that, people are invested in stewards. And we said earlier, like, well, what kind of people go and be stewards and all that business? And the reaction you get from stewards, a policeman will, in a lot of situations, take Norwich and Ipswich, where there tend to be more lax. They diffuse a situation. All right, people swear, and this zero tolerance with swearing, what you get at grounds like Sunderland, it's sort of when a steward's dragging a kid out, the reaction is his mates are pulling him, but you get conflict. A policeman is trained to diffuse a bit of conflict.
Whereas stewards aren't. They just don't. I mean, we have. Yeah, I mean, we have at at Manchester United, we have this situation where we have our own security there, and they're accused. They're being really heavy-handed. I mean, the Independent Manchester United Supporters Club and the stewards have had this ongoing ruck, all still with United and Wednesday fans. Now, you guys, I mean, do you actually miss the local derby at the moment?
We don't miss it.
I don't miss it because if they're not good enough to play us, then they don't deserve to, do they?
Do you enjoy when they actually occur, though? Is the passion? Do you think that the football passion in Sheffield is immense?
Absolutely.
I think speaking from both sides, you really love it when you win.
Yeah.
That's when you really love it.
I just say something there. You don't know the passion because we really learnt in the word passion. I mean, when we played and won 3-1 at Hillsborough, and all them balloons went up. They were awestruck. I've never seen anything like it.
And the banner.
And what do we get? They did exactly the same match after, and that's we learned.
They even had, when we introduced flares to the game, they even bought red flares to copy us.
Wearing them.
So we learned to have a bit of passion, and it's nice to see.
They've managed to carry it on, and they've done it.
Thank you very much indeed.
You don't need any.
Because that's caught on and it still goes balloons and flags and flares because they really work, don't they?
Well, they weren't that night anyway. I mean,
Every dog has its day.
we're just going back to Sanctimonious Wednesday fans again, because they're in a league above us. They
You're
don't need.
extremely jealous of at the moment.
Extremely jealous. That's all in a nutshell.
But they shouldn't be playing derby matches. Having said that, 5th of May 1990 were really ecstatic for all Blades. When we went up, they went down, we passed each other.
Yeah.
We didn't give a monkeys about derby matches then. But for the city, you should be playing derby matches.
91 when it reversed.
Well, you're right.
When it's a proper
You go down and we go up.
One at a time, one at a time. Hang on.
Checking the neutral, whether it's a proper derby, like for 2 or 3 weeks before the game, like
Fantastic.
at work, you just banter, and like if you lose, you can't go to
People
work.
go
on
missing
Monday.
for
No
weeks.
way.
People go missing for weeks on end afterwards.
You got bets on, side bets, and, fine, we're going to beat you and all this like that.
I'm going to see a doctor tomorrow. I'll tell you for like that. I'm agreeing with a Wednesday fan. It's not right. And I'm like, taking everything aside, there's nothing finer. There's nothing finer than a Sheffield derby. I mean, we hear about Liverpool derbies, Manchester derbies, which we've been talking about, and Glasgow derby. There's nothing finer than a Sheffield derby. It's so intense. They're superb, aren't
The
they?
passion was shown when they got the semi-final and the FA come up with this ridiculous idea of playing at Ellen Road. I mean, the place at Ellen Road wasn't fit to house a game of that setting.
People power took
and
it to
people
Wembley.
power took that to Wembley. Wednesday United heights.
You don't have to take it to Wembley. I think you cast your mind back to third division, like, which we don't like to talk about. When you get two gates like you got there, what it 46 and 49,000 for 2 games.
Unbelievable.
Boxing Day, 79 won it. 4-0 to Wednesday, 49,000 at Hillsborough.
We were lucky because we were in the steelworks and we were on strike after that, so we didn't have to see any Wednesday fans for 13 minutes.
14 weeks of strike, made that to all of that, didn't it?
Never happier to be on strike than then.
It's a goal every 3 weeks. Then
We stopped out, actually.
You cannot get more intense than that Sheffield rivalry. Anyway, I'd defy anybody. You know, these Celtic Rangers, you just cannot.
These guys will
any more
agree.
intense.
Wembley was. The stewards at Wembley since have said they've never heard an atmosphere, seen an atmosphere like
Graham
it.
Kelly has a picture on his wall of when both teams came out and all the balloons came down and all that passion erupted. And he said, he told us, didn't he? He says that is the most vociferous atmosphere he's ever come across at Wembley ever. And he's got the picture on his office wall in the FA.
Fantastic. You must, yeah. Well, that's great to know that football inspires such. Are you pretty pleased with your team this season? I mean, you had an appalling start.
Horrible
You
start.
Couldn't have been. And since the advent of Big Fat Ron.
Just shows you how fickle football is, doesn't it?
I mean, he's done all right for you, hasn't he?
He's doing really. I mean, nobody can deny he's a good manager. Whether he tells the truth or not is another thing. But at the end of the day,
Do you care?
You don't care. You don't care at the end of the day if your team's winning.
Yeah.
You don't care. The guy's a good manager. Simple as that. And he certainly turned us round.
Do you think you're safe?
You never say it, are you?
No, not yet.
You never. Until you mathematically
If they carry on playing like they've done since Ron came, they'll win more than they'll lose.
He has generated a bit of.
He's got to know.
Bit of pride and a bit of respect.
A
Yeah.
bit of respect in the play. The players
Yeah.
seem to be playing for him when they weren't playing under Pleat, were they?
No.
You know, there seem to be players who were
Let's be
idle.
I mean, you've had a change of manager too this season.
Well, we think, actually, Spackman to me, he's doing a tremendous job.
Yeah.
His first managerial position, he's having to cope with horrendous luck and injuries. A board that can sell us top 2 strikers in one day,
When you're
and
meant to
yet
be
it's
going
still
for promotion.
it's still keeping the team in playoff position. We've still got a good chance to get the 6th round at FA Cup, which I believe as colleagues over the city have dipped out last week. So we're still running on 2 fronts there. And for what he's done over the last 6 months since he's been in charge.
It's his first managerial post, isn't it?
And I'd say to the board, or whoever's running the negotiations, give him a contract as a manager because somebody will poach him off like they did Dino. You know?
No, this is one of
and he's just training himself up ready to take over from Fanny Lee.
downsides have been governed by PLC and things, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Which I do believe that decisions come from top as they do at
Actually,
Newcastle and
I
everywhere
think
else.
the players will see it as a good side because they now get paid, whereas when they weren't getting paid, were they? They were having a big problem. I mean, we did read
from
a
our
few
side
weeks
of
on the
things-
trot. Your players
But
weren't
it
getting
won't come
paid.
to Wednesday, would it? Brian Dean.
Who you want, Brian?
You do
I'm
want
talking
him.
about your players not getting paid.
Trevor Francis wanted grinding.
He did actually.
He'd never be able to come to Wednesday, would he?
I mean, be honest,
Would you wanted to?
when the
I'm
sack
not denying
league,
that.
would you have advocated Ron Atkinson coming back? Be honest, I don't know.
Probably no,
No, you
Probably
won't.
not.
No.
You would be.
Now all of a sudden he's a good manager.
Did you want Pleat to go?
No, he's always been a good manager.
I don't think he has.
I think we liked him. He's just
think Pleat
had to be.
He'd run out of steam, hadn't he?
Pleat had room within the club,
One
but not
second.
as team manager. He probably had room. Yeah, there was a position for him somewhere in the club, but probably not as a team manager. He's not motivated.
He's not a man manager. That's his problem. He knows the game inside out. He's got the brains for it all. He knows all the technical stuff, but he's not a man manager.
Well, a sad day for us when he went.
Okay, on that happy note, we're going to wrap this one up. Thanks.